you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.
Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer. Don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on. The battlefield's in the mind. The prize is the soul.
Yo, we live.
We live.
What up, y'all? Come on in.
Breaking.
Come on in. Breaking news. Shannon Sharpe just got accused of RAPE by his ex-girlfriend. Is named Jane Doe. They naming it Jane Doe. And guess what lawyer? Buzbee. Same lawyer that's target Jay-Z and Diddy. The 1-800 Diddy lawyer. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Yep, we're gonna get into this, y'all. Come on in. Shout out to New Jack for the membership, 7-month membership. New Jack. Incoming opinion. My baby. All right, come on in, y'all. We gotta get this going. We gotta get this started because this just hit the press. Come on in. We about to get into this article put out by TMZ. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So Shannon Sharpe just been sued for allegedly raping a woman of multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. The lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports was filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada after she said Sharpe brutally sexually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, following the year-long abusive relationship. Remember he got caught on camera? Remember when he was on his live stream, knocking the joint off on his live stream?
Yeah.
He
said he did that because, to combat those gay rumors.
Yeah, facts. So it says, according to the suit, Doe met Sharpe back in 2023 at the gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. She stated in the docs during their first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her a fake. I don't know what the hell that is supposed to be a fake. I don't know what the hell that. She won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote in a suit.
I think that was fake tits, probably.
Fake tit. All right, okay. All right. She wrote in a suit. Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to Beverly Glen Mansion. Said the woman stated that she and a former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into consensual relationship through though she described as controlling and verbally abusive. He demanded complete control over her time and body, attorney Buzbee wrote, due to the suit, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at the command of whenever he called. Doe claimed there was an argument in particular that terrified when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. What? Shannon Sharpe pulling out a burner? Come on, man. This making it hard to believe, bro. I don't know, bro. So the plaintiff tried to share the location with friends from the iPhone, just in case the doc state. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized she was what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you if you ever do it again, I will effing kill you. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sound kind of sketchy here. They said the two nevertheless continued the relationship. And see, that's the problem right there. That's when it kind of gets kind of sketchy. Like he did all that, and you still continued the relationship, even though a move, on both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, those states in her suit attempted to break things off with the infamous Instagram live stream incident, which she said led to him raping her. So it's from the live stream.
Sounds like a
So
criminal case to me.
Right.
I don't know, 50 million. What's the lawsuit?
Right.
Where's the criminal case? If he did all that and great on top of that, that sounds like criminal. Sound like this dough is just trying to get some money. That's why they call it the dough. Because they trying to get that dough.
Trying to get that dough.
That's why they call them dough.
Right.
Jane Doe and John Doe. That means they trying to get that dough.
Yo,
because this is a criminal. Too, yeah, this is a criminal case. Like, you know what I'm saying? 50 mil. You don't want him in jail for doing that? If that was the case.
Exactly.
Mind you, I don't believe any of this because Buzbee's behind it and it's another Jane Doe. So I don't believe, and they want money. They pursuing money, not a criminal case. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
so I don't trust any of this, man. BS.
All right, so the Doe claimed in the suit, the first instance happened October 2024 in an apartment. She said 56-year-old Pro Ball Hall of Fame forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance of the suit alleged that happened a few weeks later, January 2025. Doe claimed Sharpe came over to the house with promises of delivering Christmas and birthday gifts to her, but instead violently sexually assaulted her once more. She is suing for $50 million. It takes a great deal of courage to stand against those with power, fame, and money, Buzbee said in a statement after filing the suit on Doe's behalf. I look forward to pressing this case forward. We reached out to Sharpe for comment. Well, I guess they reached out to Shannon Sharpe for comment. So let me get into this. This is from the live stream, I think.
Well, obviously, I'm embarrassed. Someone that is extremely, extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio heard for the entire world to hear.
Sure.
I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. People count on Shannon. There are a lot of people that count on Shannon to be professional at all times. And I always try to be professional at all times, even when I'm behind closed doors. I'm very disappointed in myself, not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities. But to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed, gazed in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on. So I don't know how it works. And so all of a sudden, my other phone is going off and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And it didn't, I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie, and he says, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? You know, I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, they can hear. I'm like, so now, Ocho, you know, I say ask for patience. He said they can hear. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that could have been cap too.
Yeah, I think
it's more BS, more cap. Right. This nigga knew exactly what he was doing. It's called a PR stunt.
PR stunt. So what you think this lawsuit is just another money grab?
Just another money grab, just another dough grab.
Another money grab.
You got Jane Doe, you got John Doe, and you got that Cash Doe.
Cash Doe.
And that's what they should be calling them. Not Jane, not John, Cash.
Yep.
Cash Doe.
So this is Buzbee. Buzbee posted on his Instagram 3 hours ago. Late last night, the Buzbee law firm filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of a brave young woman who alleges that she was brutally sexually assaulted by the former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on multiple occasions. Last incident occurring in January 2025. The lawsuit was filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe, of course, lays out the pattern of intimidation, manipulation, and abuse, including allegations of Shannon that Sharpe repeatedly threatened to choke and slap Jane Doe. The case is $50 million in damages. The case was filed filed in the department, the 11th Clark County State Court, Nevada County, where the alleged conduct occurred. So, yeah, this is Buzbee over here once again. The lawyer that can't even practice in New York after the claims against Jay-Z, the fake claims against Jay-Z. Yo, this seems like this money this lawyer is money hungry.
So where is this lawsuit happening at? Because he can't
Nevada.
practice law in New York. Oh, Nevada. Okay,
yeah. Nevada.
So he left New York, so now he got to go to Nevada and try to jam up some more celebrities.
Yeah. So,
oh, okay.
So Shannon Sharpe is the next target, basically.
Right. Bro, I don't believe nothing out here anymore.
That's crazy.
I mean, to tell you the truth, man, if he really did all that article said, then it would have been a criminal case.
Yeah, it need to be a criminal case, right?
I don't even understand this.
So you mean to tell me she kept going back for it?
Of course. They all do. I mean, that's the thing to do now. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these celebrities are getting set up. So that's why 50 Cent went on national TV and said he was celibate.
Yeah, right. Facts.
Because he see that they're using the females, and the females are setting these celebrities up.
Yeah.
With these cases to tarnish their brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's apparent. That's happened. I mean it's clear as day to anybody who can see and have any common sense. It's the same lawyer. He used the same tactic. He got caught in New York. You know what I mean? Lost his license to practice in New York. Yeah. Now he moved in Nevada. Now he's doing it in Nevada.
Yeah.
Against another celebrity. You know what I mean? Because he can't do it in New York anymore. And they use the same tactics with this Jane and John Doe, but more like Cash Doe.
Cash Doe?
Just to say, yeah, that's all it is.
Cash Doe. Same lawyer, bro. Same lawyer that made the file the fake claim, or used the fake woman, or the fake, accusations against Jay-Z, and Diddy about her being 13 years old at the, back in I guess it was early 2001 or something like that. But yeah, it's the same greedy lawyer. Now Shannon has yet to respond. I wonder, is he gonna get his lawyer? He probably gonna have his lawyer put out a statement. Let me go check and see if they already on it yet, because they lawyers don't play about that, so them, they get right on it. So let me go to Shannon Sharpe page real quick to see if he put out a statement yet. From the looks of things, he has not responded yet, but I'm sure the statement is coming. Yeah, that's crazy.
So is it just like some conspiracy to take all the celebrities down, or what's happening out there?
That's what it kind of like sounds like, bro. And I think I don't know if it's to take celebrities down, or it's just people just money hungry right now because they struggling, so they just going after these celebrities that seem like they the easiest target, because it's like, let's get them to settle out. But the trick is to get them to settle out.
Yeah, because if it was a real problem, this would be a criminal case.
Facts. So the trick is to get them to settle out for as much money as possible. to make this go away. Basically, using Buzbee to shake these celebrities down. He's like part of that. He's part of that. Star Whackers, bro.
Right.
He's part of that Star Whackers.
The
He
Star
there.
Whackers are getting more aggressive because the bread is running out.
Yeah. So yeah, Buzbee is part of the Star Whackers.
Bread is getting a little tight, so
yeah,
you know, Buzbee and the Star Whacker crew is getting more desperate.
Yeah.
And more aggressive.
Facts. Like y'all should be getting aggressive with that like button.
Facts.
Yeah. We'd like for y'all to get aggressive with that like button. Go ahead and thumbs up this video. Definitely appreciate y'all. Hey, this is crazy, bro. I'm looking around to see if this is crazy.
I mean, it's celebrity after celebrity after celebrity.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, was Buzbee behind Jonathan Major stuff? Was he a lawyer behind any of that?
Nah, I don't think he was involved with the Majors. With the Majors case.
Who knows? It could be a hidden hand, and the Star Whackers is still associated with Buzbee.
Yeah, right.
Because you remember, it's a network.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They feed each other every once in a while. I don't know, man. It's I don't believe it.
Nah.
I think it's all cat.
Yeah, I believe so.
And I don't care what nobody say. Because this Buzbee character been doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got caught in one state, now he moved to another state and doing and continuing.
Facts.
Star Whacker.
Star Whackers, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we already, those of y'all who've been watching our live streams, we played Randy Quaid's you know I mean, his interviews nonstop, and him talking about the Star Whackers. Lawyers, agents, judges, all these people is basically shaking these celebrities down.
Mm-hmm. And $50 million.
Right, $50 million. That sounds like a Buzbee move.
Like damn, like, and they trying to take Sharpe for all he got. $50 million is a lot.
And then some. Right.
You know, I mean, he ain't with the network no more. He kind of like independent. So for them to take him for $50 million, that'll hurt. That's gonna hurt.
And you don't even know who it is. It's another Jane Doe.
Another Jane Doe, bro.
Framed Doe.
Framed Doe.
You know what I'm saying?
Framed Doe.
You know, some Jane Doe. Framed Doe. And if it's a John Doe involved, it's Condo.
Condo.
You got Condo.
Yep. Jane Doe. John Doe.
Frame Doe. Is Jane Doe is really Frame Doe, and John Doe is really Condo.
Condo.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like
because these would be criminal cases.
Yeah,
like let's be real. If a regular Negro down the street did the stuff that they alleged that Shannon Sharpe did, it would be a criminal case. They won't be suing no broke individual. They'd be going after them criminally. That mother effer raped me. He was talking at me. He was threatening me with a gun in the room. That mother effer raped me. I want the cops to arrest him right now. But nah, it's a nigga with money. This mother effer raped me. I want $50 million by tomorrow. $50 million. What, do you want them arrested? I don't care about all that arrested stuff. I want my money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see, y'all get like that's what's happening. I'm done. It's the same stuff over and over again.
And see, that's the thing though, because when these celebrities are accused, even if they're pretty much like you get it thrown out, they still getting hit with like the endorsements is getting taken away. As soon as they name hit the media in this light, that's cost them millions of dollars when that happened. So I'm thinking like, damn, it's like they targeting them in a way where it's tarnishing their name in the media to the point where they lose brand deals and go, and lose a lot of money. Even if they get the lawsuit thrown out. So it's still, to me, it's still hit pieces, bro. regardless, these are still hit pieces.
They get the lawsuit thrown out. They need to sue. They need to sue
sue
Buzbee and the frame though.
That's what Jay-Z doing. He's suing the Buzbee character.
Yep, sue Buzbee and frame though.
To the point he had to drop that case with Jay-Z because it just didn't match up. Like, I mean, like people already the woman already got exposed for lying.
Mm-hmm. And they doing the same thing to Diddy.
Yeah. Most of them Jones got spanked. Most of those lawsuits that Buzbee was representing against Diddy, a lot of them Jones got spanked too.
Yeah, and the media ain't making a big deal out of them as much as they was making a big deal when it was still alleged.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But when they get thrown out, and they threw multiple cases against Diddy out.
Yeah,
we don't even know what's actually sticking at this point. We don't even know what cases are, what alleged accounts are actually sticking.
Right.
And who knows, man? Who knows? They was able to keep him with no bail, so they must got something. They better have something.
Right, to be keeping them for that.
Yeah, because if they ain't got nothing really, he can sue the hell out of everybody when he get out. And Diddy be right back on top. And all them niggas that was talking all that.
Yeah, he pretty much going like, a lot of them dudes
just show them exactly who they were. He ain't gonna see them around no more. Meeks, no more. College, no more. Nobody.
Frenchie,
no more. Yup, no more. You ain't gonna see him around nobody.
Nope. And shit, I mean,
he'd get out and link up with Ye.
That's who he gonna get up. Yeah, right. That's who he gonna link up with is Ye. Facts. Yep, that's who he gonna link up with is Ye.
It's another something else could be going on behind that too. Diddy probably it could be possibility that Diddy ain't even in jail, and even that's scripted. So you don't know what's actually going on out here at the top. Mm-hmm. See, we don't know how fake or how far the script runs.
Yeah, because
like we can only suspect. Yeah, we can only suspect how far the script actually goes with this Hollywood shit.
Because the distraction that they need,
right?
That they need to keep people minds occupied on this.
Right? So it's like, well, I get my name tarnished artificially real quick just to. Yeah, I mean, take the focus off the masses as long as I get to keep living my lifestyle.
Exactly.
Because once you get to a certain point, it ain't even about money anymore. It's about what they allow you to have access to.
Exactly.
The money is just out there that when they be reporting how much money these niggas got and all that, that's just, that's just for the slaves. Like, that's just for the, the cattle out here. Because they look at us like cattle. They look at the general public like cattle. That's just information for the cattle. But when you actually really in there, it's like that movie They Lived, and it's like a club, and you just have access to stuff. Money is just for the show. Right. You know what I mean? Because the slaves, we got to depend on money. But when they get to a certain point of a celebrity, you know what I mean? When they start hitting that A-list, and they say they worth 20 million and 50 million and 100 million or $1 billion, that's like another whole club. How we know it's not all scripted at that level. Like Diddy could be faking. Like they let Bill out. You know what I'm saying? Bill was in the same situation Diddy was in, but then all of a sudden the technicality and Bill Cosby out of jail.
And Bill,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, So like what? So you gotta think about it. It could all be scripted. it could all be scripted, bro. All of it.
Right.
It could be so scripted that even the shit that went on with Michael Jackson could have been scripted and the nigga's still alive somewhere.
Right.
Like, that's how far scripted it can be just to keep the masses, at the state of unknown and engaged in stuff that's not even important.
Yeah.
Distractions. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if it went that far. Like, all them niggas are still alive. Prince, Tupac. All them niggas could be still alive. And at the end of the day, it was just all a script for us, the Truman Show. So they could keep, because you gotta think about it. It's only a small percentage of people on the planet that's eating like these celebrities are eating, bro.
Yeah, well, some
like
of the
lifestyles that these celebrities that some of these A-list celebrities be living.
Right.
I'm talking about the A-listers. I'm talking about the ones who the that's worth $1 billion or you go on Forbes or you Celebrity Net Worth and they worth $700 million, $800 million, $900 million, $1 billion, $2 billion. Like they could be getting paid not by their work, but by how scripted everything is and how far up they know how scripted things are, and maybe they could even just be people's handlers.
I mean,
even though they got handlers, but they're other people handlers.
I mean, we can go back and play this clip. Let me go back and pull this clip up real quick.
All this can be fake, y'all, just for us, so they can keep harvesting our energy. All of it could be fake, just set up just for us, the general public.
We can go back to this clip here. Hold on, let me see if I can.
And they sort of like show you this type of stuff in like the movies, like the Truman Show, the Hunger Games. You know what I mean? It's all done for us. All of it is scripted. A big magician's trick, and that's basically what Hollywood means. Hollywood, they actually use magical,
the Holly tree,
magical practices and illusion. You know what I'm saying? Like Merlin the magician to basically create the whole Hollywood scene.
Holy staff, holy wine. Yeah, that's what Hollywood represents.
So some of these actors and actresses don't just get paid to be on screen, but they get paid for their whole life to be scripted.
For their whole life to be scripted, right? Yeah.
Fact. Some of these niggas might not even be their real names that they, you know what I mean, that they tell us. It might not even be their real names. It could be their whole cover.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because when you're dealing with trillions of dollars and you're dealing with billions of people, because you know Hollywood got the minds of billions of people, and trillions of dollars go through Hollywood. I mean, it's to the point where it ain't even money anymore. The amount of money that goes through the industry.
That's a fact.
So they do anything. They need to hire actors inside that goes on the screen and on the outside that's in the street. Actors and actresses in the street and actors and actresses on screen.
Yeah, they definitely took Hollywood
to
the
both.
Streets. We kind of got a glimpse. We got a glimpse of that during George Floyd, when they had all them actors out there protesting and speaking, like especially that scene where Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan. You could tell that John was scripted.
Right.
To coincide with the movie they had coming out. Just look crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Like some of these niggas are just straight agents, bro. Like all of them.
And I don't think you get to stay on top 20, 30, 40 years without working with the, you know what I mean, working with the system to keep the program going. Like to stay relevant for that long, I don't think that you'll be able to stay relevant that long if you wasn't playing the game that they needed you to play, or playing the role, I should say, that they need you to play.
Yeah, because they can just continuously make you faint or keep you famous by keep talking about you in the media in a positive light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That could keep you on top forever. Because everybody watch TV, everybody watch the main media outlets. So if they got the power to keep people constantly in the media all the time, the people they want on top, and the ones that they don't want, they either use propaganda against them while they're in the media, or the media just won't cover any of their stuff at all. And you would just forget about him. You would say, "Oh, that's a one-hit wonder," or "He did that one good movie. You ain't see him in nothing else."
You ain't see him in nothing.
That's because he ain't make the cut.
He wasn't willing to go play the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, because a simple no can get you blackballed. One no, let's go ask Monique. One no can get you blackballed for the rest of your career.
For the rest of your career, facts. That's how highly controlled it is.
That's how highly controlled it is.
So you think those gatekeepers ain't part of the script?
Yeah, it's tight-ditched. It's tight knit. It's tight. It's tight. You know, tight circles. Yeah, they're not. It's basically like a fraternity. And if if you don't make the cut, then you just get blackballed. You get outed. That's just how it goes. So the
Bro,
ones
I
you've been
think it's
seeing
so
around,
deep that they start with kids, bro. Like they start with
no, they
kids and
do.
they even create a fake poverty story for these niggas. Like the parents be in on it, or they won't even really have any real parents. They just part of some breeding program, and they place them in certain areas, and then they, you know what I mean, they create this whole fake life for them. I mean, it be real to them because they babies don't even know that they're sponsored
It's
by.
Truman Show shit.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
Truman Show
and
type.
then they live in this life of poverty, and all of a sudden this big miracle happened, and then they become famous and all this, not realizing they was always a part of the script. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually have, it's like actually monitoring programs where they monitor, like they plant these as people as babies into certain societies, and they
Right.
actually got people monitoring them and steering their life to where they want it to go. And to create some of these big A-list celebrities that eventually become gatekeepers. They grooming them to
Right.
become gatekeepers, even as from babies on up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They
remember?
teach them how to groom. They get groomed. They teach them how to groom. So once they get on
Well,
top, that's
yeah, a
what
lot
Corey
of them.
Feldman was saying.
Yeah,
The ones who was groomed become the groomers.
yeah. I mean, we seen that. We seen that through Disney and Nickelodeon and
Right. Facts.
remember
That's
Will
how we
Smith?
know.
Remember Will Smith spoke out one time, and then after that, remember he spoke out about the government one time, and after that, bro, he ain't never. This was on a Barbara
All
Walters
fake.
interview. That shit was. You ain't. It's like he ain't never. After that, you really never heard him speak about any of this type of shit again.
Do you believe in government conspiracies?
Oh, absolutely.
No, I'm serious.
No, definitely. No, oh my God.
I know I heard you did. Are you serious now?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm very serious. You can't
No,
tell,
you
can you?
can't tell,
You
no.
can't tell.
You know what I'm getting at. I read that you felt that the government was deliberately spraying cold germs in subways, was deliberately trying to make people ill with the AIDS virus. This is pretty serious stuff. Do you really feel that?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I'm with Barbara Walters now. Oh, that's a serious one. Okay, so I got to now, because people are going to chase me after this. People are going to chase me. I believe that it is quite highly possible that the AIDS virus is a result of genetic warfare testing
by American agents?
Absolutely.
Well,
am I a conspiracy theorist? I'm a conspiracy theorist, all right. I didn't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I wanted to be regular.
Well, you're a little irregular. Serious stuff.
Look, she gave him that look like you ain't supposed to be saying this. She gave him that look and that gesture, like that look on her face and how her voice tone was, like you know you ain't supposed to be saying this, right? She was trying to get him to kind of like deny what he believed in. But that's like the last time you ever really heard him speak out about anything.
No, that's them psychologically instilling the word conspiracy theorists in our head. So anything that people say that people
because he said it. He
deems
said
theory.
right.
Yeah, he made sure they use the word
Or
conspiracy
conspiracy
theory.
theory. Yeah, I don't want to sound like conspiracy.
Conspiracy theories, yeah, because that's them. That's more programming. That's reverse psychology. That's psychological programming. So that could be part of the script too.
Right.
State something that's true about what the government is doing, and then put the word conspiracy theory behind it on national TV, so you can program people when anybody say anything that's that's against the system, they can say, "Oh, that's a conspiracy theory," like Will Smith or.
Say, what George Bush say? We not to tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories.
Right. You gotta say though, keep instilling that same word in people's heads, so they can they can
Keyword.
dismiss any type of banter that's against the system.
And see,
Yeah, I mean,
the
so you
thing
can
about it
dismiss it
is,
as a conspiracy theory.
and that's the thing though, like these keywords, they had to use these keywords, mainstream media, before we had social media. Now the keywords are just hashtags. You know what I mean? They use a bunch of hashtags, the keywords, to basically flood the internet with misinformation, some real information,
and to control the algorithm.
and control the algorithm. Facts.
Mhm.
But then it was just keywords, certain keywords they said on national TV, like conspiracy theory, or see, they wasn't talking about the Illuminati, none of that shit. That's another programming too. That's another programming word. They,
It's a
kind of
lot of
like
programming
downplay.
words, like the word woke.
Woke,
The word
right?
woke that they turned that into a program. You know what I'm saying? All this should be programming.
Right.
All of it. The choosing which political side you on and all that. All that's programming, bro. It's propaganda programming, and it's all controlled by the same individuals.
So now they're using these same propaganda machines that build up these celebrities to tear them down. Now to basically target them, because it seemed like every black celebrity died broke. Yeah, I noticed that. Like every last one of them, it's like you can't die with your fortune. You can't pass it on to the next generation.
Because
It's
they
like
never really had it, bro.
Right.
Because you gotta think about, like what I was saying earlier, is what they're allowed to have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't really have that money. That money is fake. It's just what they have access to.
Facts.
And then once their contract is up, of course they're gonna tell everybody they died broke, but they never had the money in the first place.
Never had the money in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these celebrities are so highly controlled. Y'all gotta understand how controlled they are. Like they really don't have as control over their life and their money, so called, as you think.
Yeah, because
when they A-listers, when they up there getting in the so-called $100 million club, or the $500 million club, or the 900. These celebrities are controlled.
They just become face of corporations.
They just become the face
to help move money around. To basically help moving money around. Right. A lot of their accounts be corporation corporation accounts anyway.
And mind you, some of them do jump off script, and they punish them by blacklisting them.
Like
you know what I'm saying? They do jump off script, but then you got sometimes when they jump off script, it be part of the script, because they like to have control opposition too.
So you think Ye is control
either
opposition?
Control opposition, or somebody who just hopped off the script? I don't know. He might be controlled opposition. It's a possibility, because when they want to shut somebody down, they don't matter what country you move to. You know what I'm saying? They got connects. This is a global network.
And then you think about Ye ain't really saying nothing.
He ain't really saying nothing. This is a global network. You know what I'm saying? So you remember the movie John Wick? You remember how it was a global network? Like when John Wick had bread on his head, he couldn't hide in no country. There was no country he can go to. Because it's a global network. That's how they operate. So he wouldn't be able to hide in Japan and still be able to move around and say the stuff he say if it wasn't part of the script.
But the thing about it, see, that this would be the difference. It's a difference between them saying something and generalizing it versus them saying actual events and stuff that happened that could point names to people and specific incidents that happened. Now, if a person, when they start talking about specific time, dates, and incidents that happened and start saying names about that, that's what I think.
Like Cappy. Like Isaac Cappy, when he said Seth Green invited him over and he took him down to some hidden dungeon and said, "This is where we keep the children."
There you go.
That's something that was particular.
That can get you taken out. But
that can get you taken out.
Like Ye ain't saying nothing specific.
Yeah, like that time when I was at he ain't saying when I was at so and so house.
That's the difference.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the difference. Is when you start saying exactly and specifically what happened at someone's home, or they took you at this secret location, or when you start talking
Like when
like that.
Cat said, like Cat talking about some at first when he was like, the executives just do coke right in front of you. If he would have been a look, then he said he went
He
to
said names.
search
Yeah.
somebody's house and then he said Dr. Ogilvy. He started saying names off script.
Yeah.
Names that wasn't supposed to be mentioned yet.
Right. See, Weinstein already in jail, so he could mention Harvey, try to give him head because he was already gone. He's off. Now imagine these niggas start saying names to
It's like
people that
Terrence
ahead
Howard.
of time. Yeah.
Terrence Howard talked about Diddy because Diddy's already in jail.
Diddy in
so
jail.
he talked about a specific time when Diddy tried to F him.
Facts.
After Diddy goes to jail.
And listen,
so it's all
Isaac
part of the script.
Isaac Cappy said Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks was pedos. That's his off script with that.
Yeah, that's way off script because you never heard anybody talk about that before him.
Right. He's off script with that. See, Corey Feldman ain't named no name, so he kind of like he was good. Like he wasn't in danger. He was like borderline in danger if he would have started saying people name, but he ain't never say no name.
A little bit. He did a little bit because he said the events, the Soda Pop Club, look and see who was behind the Soda Pop Club, and then you'll see who I'm talking about. So that's sort of, and he said they should take them events all over. So that's something specific.
Yeah,
you just look up the Soda Pop Club and say, oh, who was behind the Soda Pop Club? Oh, so those, he's saying those are the pedos right there. And they was taking them to different events just so they can get, just so these pedos can get their pickings. Oh, I like that child over there. Oh, I like that one over there. I like that one over there at the Soda Pop Club. That's what he been, you know what I'm saying? So that's something specific, bro. I think that's something specific. You know what I'm saying? And you look up the times when that club was around and how they used to gather all those child celebrities up and have them at these events with these grown individuals. And next thing you know, these kids are leaving the event with these grown individuals by themselves.
And the thing about it is, it's not even that it's not even the celebrity that's you know, that's the one that people got to worry about. It's the execs. It's the people like Michael Jackson name names like Tommy Mottola. It's those names. It's the higher up names. When you start naming those type of people, like you could go name Diddy and Jay-Z and them niggas all day. That's compared to the people that they, you know what I mean? The names that really control. When they start naming those names, then it gets a little dangerous. It gets a little dangerous. Like Isaac Cappy name is Steven Spielberg. Like he's their chosen. He's like the top chosen director, writer, gatekeeper. You don't name that name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't name that name.
Just when Left Eye was going off script and naming Clive on TV.
Yeah, in fact.
In a bad light.
In a bad light, right.
Yeah, that's definitely going off script. Yeah, so sometimes a lot of times these celebrities do go off script. What about Monique? You think she went off script? I mean, she was talking about some low level niggas though. Like
she went off script. She ain't
mentioned Oprah's boss.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, bro, she didn't mention no things that was incriminating. Like when you start incriminating people,
right.
Monique ain't say nothing that can get them locked up or nothing.
Exactly.
Like I'm
so
talking
she
about.
Didn't really go off script.
She didn't go off script. She just told him, you know, you can suck my D, and you know what I mean. I said no to promoting the movie, and y'all blackball me. She ain't say that Tyler was a pedo or he tried to mess with kids or it's that when you start naming these niggas in the criminal light is where it get dangerous.
If it's not authorized.
If it ain't authorized.
Because sometimes it's authorized for them to, you know.
Because you gotta realize a lot of people, a lot of these A-list celebrities and they have people that got a lot of investments tied up in them. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just about the celebrity, it's about the people that got investments tied up in these A-list celebrities as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I can get a little dangerous if it's off script, because You got people that's backing these people with billions of dollars, and they ain't gonna let their investments get, messed up by somebody going off script and saying certain things. They gonna protect their interest by any means possible. So they'd take out a Michael Jackson if they need to, because I mean, a powerful person like that can, damage a lot of people careers, damage a lot of people's corporations by him, being like that. So it was dangerous for them to just leave Michael Jackson lingering around out here with that type of power he had. He had more power than the president, bro.
Because their media attacks on him didn't
work.
It didn't work as much. It wasn't as effective as they thought it would be.
Facts.
Because you still had a lot of people out here saying that Michael Jackson didn't touch those kids, even though the media kept saying that he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, they realized that, oh, we losing. We losing this information war. We trying to tell them that Michael Jackson is a pedo, but a lot of people ain't believing it. And it's all about people believing the system at the end, because that's what keeps their program running. Because that's what it is. It's not even about just, the money and all that. It's about the trust of the people, because they want the people to trust the system 100% of the time.
To keep buying into it, right?
Buying into it, but not just buying into it, but creating your whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think about it. The general public mostly create their lifestyle
based around
how the corporations. Yeah. In the system, period. Not just the corporations, but the government and the corporations, which is the same entity. Like we tell y'all that all the time on this channel. The government and the big corporations are ran by the same individuals, the same investors that back. Because you gotta think about it, the government ain't really ran. It ain't even really taxes anymore. It's just straight up extortion. So it's just like the government is like, we own this anyway, and the governments tell the corporations what to do, and vice versa, because it's just one big revolving door. They leave the corporation, they join the government. They leave the government, they join the corporation. And they never really leave the government or the corporation. They really just work for both. Yeah, I mean, that's what y'all have to understand. A lot of these big wigs, the hidden hands, they work for both the government and the big corporations together. So it's just one big conglomerate, and that's what controls Hollywood. That's what controls the general public. You know what I'm saying? That's the bridge between the two.
Yeah, but the thing about this, I think this is more personal when it comes to Shannon Sharpe. Because he ain't really speaking out and saying anything about nothing.
Nah, he could have said something behind. He could have said
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
That's what I was thinking. But I was gonna say that too as well. That you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
All right.
So he could have became an uppity nigger.
Yeah.
Uppity. Look at that. Who's that uppity nigger that think he can say no to us?
Got approached.
Right.
Yeah, to say no. Right. Like when Mr. B said no to the corporations that wanted to buy his brand, they start putting SA cases out, lawsuits out on him, and when he didn't want to sell.
They offered him $1 billion for his brand. Yep, they offered Mr. Beast $1 billion for his brand. Mr. Beast said no, and next thing you know, sexual assault cases and all this stuff from people from his team.
Yep.
So that goes to show you right there. That sort of tells you the ones who step off script or say no behind the scenes or say no on the scenes. Wherever they say no at, just saying no is a no. They come after you. But then again, all of it is being exposed though, because look, we talking about it right now.
Yeah.
And the dots are connecting. The patterns are being shown. Like it's the same patterns over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, that Buzbee lawyer is used by these same individuals that's running everything. They use people like Buzbee, to shake down the celebrities who do say no.
All right, hold on. Some more stuff came out. Hold on. Oh no, I think it's the same.
Yeah, it'll always be the girlfriend, because you know why? It'd be the disgruntled girlfriend. It'd be the girlfriend that they was probably offering them things. Oh, baby, yeah, we're going to be this. We're going to be this together. Yeah, we're going to rule the world.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and next thing you know, they move on to the next chick. Now they got a disgruntled ex. And the disgruntled ex felt like any type of, you know, sexual exchange or anything they did in the past was all fake anyway, because he moved on to somebody else but promised them the world. So they feel like that's a sexual assault. Like, oh, I was assaulted. You only saying you was assaulted because they lied to you about your relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why. So they have that feeling like they were abused and used and all this type of stuff. So they run with it just to get money. They know it's not the truth 100%. That's why they don't file no criminal cases.
Right.
It's always civil.
All right. So
that's why they were trying to get the money. That's the psychology behind that. These chicks are just disgruntled exes that got played. Yeah, I mean, they thought they was going to get the world with the celebrity because the celebrity probably offered them the world in that moment. It didn't work out that way. So they feel like all the sexual activity and all the stuff they did for that celebrity was, yeah, I mean, it was against their will. They're going to say it was against their will just because it didn't work out the way that they wanted to work out. So they go after a civil case. Because if that's one more point, that celebrity actually assaulted them, like, and raped them, first of all, they would go to the police right away and said, this individual raped me. Like, right after it happened. They ain't going to wait until the relationship don't work out and all this. Because that's why, that explains why they keep going back. Because you like, if he was doing all that to you, why you keep going back? Why did you keep going back? You kept going back because he promised you the world. And at that time, you didn't see it as sexual assault. You seen it as, this man is going to give me the world. He's a big celebrity now. He's getting a lot of status. He's getting a lot of money. And with me by his side, that will automatically make me somebody. And when it don't work out that way, these exes get disgruntled. And they say, oh, he assaulted me. They start bringing up old arguments that they had. And he was yelling at me with a gun in the room.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? He was yelling at me with a gun in the room.
So it's basically, so what we gathering now by connecting the dots. All right, so before he's about to sign, so Shannon Sharpe eyes, $100 million deal. This was 2 days ago. Goes in a $100 million deal contract for his podcast. So, like you said, something he could have said behind the scenes. There's something that triggered this propaganda. You know what I mean? So Shannon Sharpe, media deal with Colin, Coherds. The Volume Podcast Network is set up. Sources tell Front Office Sports, Pro Football Hall of Fame received multiple offers, expected to sign a deal that would exceed $100 million. Sharpe partnered with the Volume in August 2023, several months after leaving FSI Undisputed, where he broke out the opposite from, broke from, Skip Bayless, the show he had with him. So there you go. Sharpe was negotiating a deal a few days ago for $100 million. So now this case comes about. So is he being shaken down? I feel like he's being shaken down.
And if that's the case, right, he's being shaken down, right? How do they get these exes so fast? How do they get these exes so fast to come in there and say that they raped them? Like you just said 2 days ago, it was $100,000 contract on the table, right?
Yeah, they just put out this article. Yeah,
$100 million contract on the table, right? Something didn't work out. Yeah, I mean, he said no to something, and it was too much information he knew from right then and there. So they like, all right, we gotta get rid of him now. How they go get the ex so fast and get them to agree to do this civil case?
It's like it was already lined up. Yeah, all right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the questions you gotta ask, bro.
Like he was already being lined up. Like,
just in case if things didn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely being targeted, bro. Yeah, he's definitely being targeted. You know, Shannon Sharpe kind of like a squeaky clean guy throughout his whole career. You ain't really hear no dirt on this man. He's a squeaky clean guy through his whole career. All of a sudden, he going to ink $100 million deal, and he's getting shaken down for $50 million. I think the deal. I guess when you know your name get put in the media like this, I think it's no deal. I think he don't get no deal after his name get put in the media like this. People that pretty much make people back off. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, bro.
So it's like a hit piece on this nigga or something. So, bro, somebody definitely target this man. Yeah, someone definitely target this man.
How they go get these exes so damn fast, bro? What somebody approached these exes and said,
yeah, somebody approached them like Buzbee.
But Buzbee that's just what I was about to say. I was about to say Buzbee.
Yeah,
approached them, say we could get some money out of him.
Yeah, same thing.
But how did they know that they disgruntled in the first place? How do they know which ex to approach?
They already there. It's like they already been approached early on for the lineup.
That's why 50 Cent said he's celibate, because they know that they planting females in their lives.
Yeah,
they actually hunt these men down.
I think the whole Me Too movement was a play on that. Was to basically use the Me Too drone to start shaking people down. Yeah, it's like it seemed like the record companies, when these artists start asking for their masters or they getting too powerful and too big, I think this Me Too movement shit came right into play. And the thing about it, they used a black woman to start the Me Too movement. The woman that looked like KRS-One. So I think this is all a setup, bro. It was all lined up. And then they allowed for them to file sexual assault lawsuits for that small window in New York. Remember they, opened the small window up for them to file at the end of 2024. It's like this shit was like all lined up, bro. Like you said, they don't need these people no more. They're going into a whole new system. So when you start seeing the media, over 1,800 plus CEOs laid off, and you starting to see these celebrities getting attacked, they going in a whole new direction, bro. This shit is definitely not by coincidence. They don't need these people no more. They don't need these gatekeepers no more. They don't need those CEOs no more, because artificial intelligence is taking over. Like we said, we're going to keep telling y'all, they putting the whole world on an automated system. They don't need these celebrities. They don't need these CEOs. They don't need them.
Wow.
Because people are already bought into the artificial intelligence system already. Now, we ain't saying it's a bad thing. It's just saying the people that control things are bad people, because they want 100% control over, over humanity, basically.
Bro, so some of these chicks that be going after these, these big time celebrities, you know what I mean? When I say going for them, I'm talking about like dating them and stuff. They could be part of some agency. Like they could be industry plants placed around these celebrities.
Look how they just went to get Bill. Look how they got those women to come out against Bill Cosby. The women was just laying around with nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had no, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. I think they was always there, but Bill, being as though they was using Bill for a particular time, all the stuff that these women was coming for and they saying wasn't holding no weight, because same thing with R. Kelly. The P tape was out there over, 20-something years. But they still was able to keep Kelly out of jail and keep him, writing hits. So it's like they keep dirt on these celebrities, bro, so they can come get them at a specific time that they need to come get them.
imagine that young rap artist or that young athlete that signed that contract, that big contract, and next thing you know, they got all these chicks running after them. Some of them chicks can be industry plants from the
they are.
beginning.
No, I think they are, because it's hard to get a squeaky clean person.
Right.
So it's like we gotta have dirt on this person in order to get him, because if a guy is squeaky clean and he don't have no devices that you can use against him, then how are you going to be able to get him? I mean, get to him.
Like they actually send hunters. It's like some of these women be hunt. They have babies with them. Like, yeah, you're gonna go and have a baby with them. You know what I'm saying? And we can get them that way too. It's like I'm telling you, like it's a whole, because you gotta think about it, if there's a whole network like the Star Whackers, of course they would have, and of course they would have plants like that they place around key points around certain celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Especially the young males who sign big contracts. They gotta watch out the most, because they always be sending them them individuals in there, them plants in there, to basically get rooted into their life, just in case if they need to pull the plug on that young athlete or that young rapper, they could do it through the girlfriend.
Yeah, it's always like
wife.
Yeah, it's always like
on some Truman Show type
it's
shit.
like it's kind of like what Cat Williams was talking about. Like, why all these celebrity basketball players either got white wives or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like these people be planted into their lives, bro. Just in case they get out of line, or they need to get, or they need them for a specific, propaganda to basically, get them out the way. It's always people in place. It seemed like it's always people in place for that. Look what happened with Jonathan Majors, white chick. Man.
The chick, yep. She was another industry plant. As soon as they see him getting motion off Creed, you know what I mean, Lovecraft, and all that.
Nah, he was good, but he said no to somebody that, like, when you start saying no to people,
but what I was saying is that's when they send the agent in just in case. They play chess, not checkers. Because you remember they had him in the magazines. Hollywood got their eyes on him, and they had him on the magazine, all looking all and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then right after that, something happened, and next thing you know, here come the assault case from some chick he was messing with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like while he was on a come up, they sent that agent in there as the girlfriend to play that role as the girlfriend, just in case if when they make an offer to him and he refuses it or say no in any type of way, they could use that chick to basically take him down. That's what I'm saying. It's all part of a network. That's why 50 Cent specifically said, I'm celibate. I don't date anymore. They can these women out here can your whole stuff up. Cause he's very observant. 50 Cent very observant. He's sitting back and he's seeing how all these celebrities are being set up. You know what I mean? And then seeing how in his own life that he was almost set up. Like, so he's starting to see the big picture. And a lot of these chicks, they be money hungry, and they be out there to get it. And they're easily controlled by the establishment. Because the establishment, like niggas like Buzbee, like, yeah, I could get you that money. All you gotta do is say he did this to you and he did that, and we put a bunch of propaganda out there. The people will believe it, and then we have a case, and they be so pressured because they trying to keep their brand deals and all of that they just settle out, and you'll get millions. We get millions together. That's what the lawyer is promising these women.
Yeah, it's definitely them lawyers.
Right.
But with Shannon, it's definitely, but Buzbee is definitely one of them lawyers that be trying to shake down these celebrities. Look, Jay-Z just came straight out and said he's trying to shake me down. He basically trying to shake me down.
That's the NFL contract and all his other contracts he got out there.
But the trick is to at least get them to settle out for as much as possible. So I feel like the media companies is working with these motherfuckers, bro. Shit out.
It's all one big, it's all one big, network.
It's all one big network.
That's coming all the way from the top, and sometimes these celebrities don't even realize how deep it go, and they be in it. I mean, some of them know, but then, I mean, Ye, he found out the hard way. He found out just about everybody around him was an agent. He was even talking about how Kim and Kim's family was so close to the Clintons, and he ain't even realize that. And the Clintons was trying to control Kanye through Kim and them.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, he said that himself. And even how his personal trainer was even in on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, how Kim's mom was even in on it. Like, they all was in on it to control him. And now they trying to control him through the kids. And Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians are industry plants. They mess with extremely wealthy men or upcoming, men.
Or
rich men. You know what I'm saying? So they can basically implant themselves in the mix. And the industry use them for whatever they need to use them for. Whether it's to push more of their propaganda, or if it's they need to take a celebrity down that they've been messing with, like Ye. They do it.
Damn, so
I mean, they were the ones threatening to throw him in a crazy house.
Right. So this is making sense right now as far as with Shannon Sharpe, because he was in motion to sign a $100 million contract for his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 days later, it comes out that he, being sued for $50 million for Grape. That's crazy, bro.
Bill doing? What was Bill doing before they went after him? What deal was he trying to close?
NBC. Yeah, he was trying to close the NBC deal. Yeah. Yeah, he was closing the NBC deal.
What about Michael Jackson? What deal was he trying to close before they went after them? Was it Marvel?
Marvel. Yeah.
He was going to buy up all the Marvel.
Yeah, they had the money. Like, Bill already had the money. Bill had the money to buy NBC. He got up the money, and to buy NBC, he was going to negotiate the deal, and then all the allegations came out.
When them niggas about to start a distribution company in the music industry.
Right. Now, you gotta think about this. Like, when these dudes get put in position, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes as far as with them trying to buy, acquire something. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know Michael Jackson was acquiring those Beatles rights until after he got them. And it came out that he basically did the deal with Paul McCartney to buy the Beatles rights, right? We didn't know nothing about that. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these dudes be doing things behind the scenes, and the next thing you know, something come out in the media about them. So Shannon could be acquiring some things behind the scene and making certain moves, especially inking $100 million deal. That opened new doors for him. So you don't know what these dudes is doing behind the scenes to acquire certain things. You know what I mean? And it go back to what Diddy said. There's a whole nother war at the top when you get to a certain status. And the thing about it just ain't even with the black celebrities. Like, it's a war with the corporations, period, because they all in competition with each other. And everybody's out for control.
It's all falling apart.
Even when they band together, to come against the people, but it still be a war even within them, within their, on their level. It'd be a war with them as well, because everybody want to be you know, in control and shit. It's a war. It's a war for control.
But it's that hidden hand where they all collectively agree that they gotta control the masses.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. They come together when ban against the population. But then it be wars within them. You know what I mean? At the top too.
Right.
Amongst themselves.
Because of the egos and
right.
Ain't no honor among thieves.
Ain't no honor among thieves. Facts. Now with the Pope dying today, the Pope Francis dude, even though we know he the face of that shit, like he always, you know, he's the face, but being as though he passed, you know, there's another shift that's about to happen, and it seems like every Pope that dies, always some type of shift that happens when that happens. You know what I mean? So what can they be distracting us from? Like that whole Gail King and them going to space. What the hell was they doing behind the scenes during the time they was trying to distract us with that Gail King shit?
The money system.
Money system.
The banking system is changing. It's going to change how people use money.
Yep. I'm about to.
That's that.
Right.
It's about the money changing. So that means the energy is changing. The currency is changing.
Yep.
And that's tied into every industry. So you're seeing a lot of chess moves being made because it's that whole banking industry and all that is tied into it's ingrained into every industry, every corporation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's embedded into Hollywood and the music industry and all of that, everything. They're keeping us distracted because a big collapse is about to happen. Like, we think the collapse is bad now. It's going to be a huge collapse, global collapse. You know what I'm saying? Because they're destroying one system and another system is about to come into place. Now, this is a time where somebody can become extremely wealthy or just be in poverty for the rest of their days.
That's
what they distracting everybody from.
Right. The line is being drawn in the sand.
Yep.
Between the wealthy and the extreme poor.
Mm-hmm.
Being as though that they sign a bill to make homeless illegal, but then it's like a small window that's open for anyone that could become, you know, extremely wealthy overnight, and they don't want too many wealthy people, so it's for those that, you know, retain the information that's going to be able to advance to the next level, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, because this is a distraction. That's Shannon Sharpe stuff, the Diddy stuff.
Shit, a big distraction, bro.
All this is a distraction of what's about to happen.
Yeah, because when you really know what's going on, and you know how the financial system is making this big change.
Yeah, that's going to affect a lot of people.
Yeah, because so if you can have a lot of people distracted, then they won't have the information to acquire that, you know, acquire that wealth with that small window being open. It's like the gold rush again. Or
yeah,
like,
it is a small window.
Or like the .com boom or the gold rush, because we going into Web3. So look how it took place when the .com boom was. You know how many people got wealthy during the .com boom?
Now look where we at with the .coms now.
Yeah,
it's a whole industry.
It's a whole industry. So now we moving into Web3 and the blockchain, and there's another, you know, window that's open for people to get extremely wealthy. You know what I mean? So if you keep people distracted, then they won't, you know, they won't be able to retain the information to figure out how to advance to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So y'all better wake up and pay attention to what's really going on. I know y'all like to stay up on the latest gossip and the news and shit, but don't get distracted by what's really happening. Like peep some of the shit we be saying within these live streams. because that's
the important stuff.
That's the important stuff
because knowing about Shannon Sharpe being accused for how that's going to help your life.
It ain't.
What that going to do? All right, he's accused for something that he possibly did or didn't do. Now what?
And we be telling y'all, listen, you better start looking into blockchain and cryptocurrency and start figuring out which ones is which and which technology is going to be used and which crypto is going to be used, you know, for the next.
And how the technology going to be applied to actual life, period.
Fact. So y'all better start looking into that shit. Because that's the next phase they going into.
And it's a lot more other important things going on, like I mean, how they poisoning us with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, poisoning us through everything, man. Not even just through the media. Yeah. Poisoning us through food, air,
they want to mass
water.
produce. Yeah, they want to mass produce the food industry even faster now. Like everything's going into hyperdrive. The agriculture, the architect, the financial system. You know what I'm saying? Every institution right now is going into hyperdrive because artificial intelligence is going to control it all.
And they depopulating because they don't want a lot of people around for this new Web3 that's coming because it's hard to monitor everybody, even with the AI. So they want it. So they lessening the population also. That's why they poisoning everything.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, people. That's more important than what's going on with Shannon Sharpe.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And they poisoning us and then they blame our genetics. They say, oh, it's your genetics because, you know, diabetes and heart attack and stroke run through your family. But that's BS. Really, they just poisoning. We're all being poisoned through our food, water, and these fake medications that they giving us. They poison us through that because why they give us one medication and they cause like three other illnesses. So you gotta get another medication for those 3 illnesses that the other medication caused, and then that medication caused 3 other illnesses. Now you gotta get another medication for those 3. Now you got like 9. Now you got like 9 illnesses, and you on damn near 15 different medications. We need to be thinking about that, about how they poisoning us. And how the same companies that own the food companies own the pharmaceutical companies. So they want us to be sick, so we do go to the pharmaceuticals. That's the type of shit we need to be thinking about. All these motherfuckers walking around, legs amputated because of diabetes.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? Overweight to the point they look deformed. All types of shit going on. We need to be paying attention to what's happening with that than what's going on with Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah, how you combat that is just, you know what I'm saying?
Paying less attention to what's going on with niggas like Diddy and Shannon Sharpe and paying more attention to what's going on with your health, your mind, your body, your soul, and your money. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that's because come to find out Shannon Sharpe did do it. Now what? Now how that's going to benefit your life? Come to find out he didn't do it. Now what? How that's going to benefit your life? What is that going to do for you? You got now you all right, now you know what's going on with Shannon Sharpe, but you still got a problem with you and your family being poisoned, especially being in America. You got the detox. So you gotta head over to nightanddayherbals.com. You know what I'm saying? And get you some of this Zia Aid or this Melanin Splash or this fruit infused sea moss gel for 25% off. To detox from all the damn poison that they poisoning us with. You know what I'm saying? There we go. We told y'all the problem and gave you the solution right away. We told y'all what y'all being distracted from. A lot of people always saying distractions. What we being distracted from? You're being distracted from the fact that you're being poisoned and they putting you and your family in the poorhouse. They intentionally putting you and your family in the poorhouse and poisoning you at the same time. That's what you're being distracted from. You know what I'm saying? And they got this whole surveillance state set up to where if they tweak the laws a little bit, we be going to jail based off some shit we said on social media. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit that we said around our Alexa or our Siri. You say something around your Alexa or Siri that the system don't like. Next thing you know, you ain't got no access to nothing. You can't get an Uber. You can't order a pizza. You can't do nothing. You can't even leave your house. That's the shit we're being distracted from. That they setting this whole surveillance state up, you know what I mean, and this whole digital prison up behind the scenes while they distracting us with niggas like Diddy and Shannon Sharpe. They built literally a prison around us. They already got everything in place. All they gotta do is tweak the law a little bit. You know what I mean? Tweak the law a little bit to the point where these agencies can use your Alexa or your Siri or your phone, your device, you know what I mean, to bring charges against you for some shit that shouldn't be illegal in the first place. That's what's happening. That's what we're being distracted from. We need to see what we're being distracted from.
Well,
That's what we're being distracted from.
We really being distracted from.
Hell yeah, we being distracted, bro.
We really being distracted from people getting. They don't want nobody getting wealthy. They don't want too many of the general population getting wealthy. That's the real deal that's going on.
Well, they won't. When have that ever happened on this earth where majority of the population became wealthy? That'd never happen.
Exactly.
That'd never happen.
But but then you just keep people that they don't want to get wealthy as well. So,
well, our audience, when you come here, you're gonna get educated on what's going on and what you're being distracted from and who's who. A lot of people say them. A lot of people say, oh, there's distractions. A lot of people say it's conspiracy theories, but nobody want to go under the surface and see what's really going on. And that's what we here for.
I tell you what, yeah, I better start doing a lot more research.
The Pope died. That's a big thing because you gotta think about it. The Pope is just the face, but that's still putting attention on the papacy, and the papacy is one of the ones that's actually, when they say them, who's them? When they talk about conspiracy theories, who's them? That the Illuminati and all is the niggas over there in Rome,
Vatican.
Right. It's the niggas that's controlling the Vatican. It ain't even the Vatican itself. Is the families behind the Vatican, that ones that choose who's going to be the next pope. You know what I'm saying?
The same ones that choose who's going to be the next president.
Are the same ones who choose who's going to be the next president or who's going to be the next big A-list celebrity that everybody's going to follow behind. They make all the decisions, all the important decisions to keep the masses dumbed down and treated like cattle. It ain't just a little hat community that Ye and them going at. They just the bankers and the accountants. They ain't even the ones who's really running anything. They the ones, they put their names on everything because they accounting for everything. But if you really do the history, all roads lead to Rome. All roads lead to Rome. If you go in the Bible, you could go in the Bible and see who was really running things. Was it the Jews that got Jesus put on the cross, or was the Romans that was running things? It was the Romans that was running things. You know what I mean? It was Rome that was running things, and the Jews, they were just, you know what I mean? They was like second in command.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was the Jews that was pleading to the Romans to crucify.
Right, exactly. That still reigns today.
It still reigns today. Them niggas are just accountants. That little hat community that's running Hollywood and running the banking industry, they're doing it for the people over there in Rome.
Right.
All right. So we telling you who them is.
So like I said,
who them is.
So like I said, the Pope dying today is a shift.
A big thing, right?
It's a shift that's happening, being as though Pope Francis passed away today. Well, you know, in the media saying he passed away today, but you know, he could have passed away months ago, probably last year.
That's true.
You really never know when they actually pass away. You know what I'm saying?
Like what they did with Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah. So there's a shift happening like I said, every time a pope passes away, a big shift happens. So that's what's happening now. So just pay attention to what's really going on. Don't get distracted by this dumbass shit. This Diddy trial coming up.
Right.
I mean, we covering it, but y'all already know how we do. We get information within these live streams. We're gonna tell y'all what the hell really going on.
And listen to the last name of the people that basically saying that they say who going after Diddy. Diageo.
Diageo.
That shit sound Rome.
That's
Rome sound like Rome to me.
Yeah, that's Rome shit, bro.
Like we said, he's playing around with old money. You know what I'm saying? Old families that's running shit. And they've been running shit for centuries. Let me put this in perspective. The niggas in Vatican got more power than the royal families. When the royal families go see the Pope and all them, they kiss the ring of the Pope. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think about it. You go back in history when they saying that a lot of the people was running over here. Who were they running from? The Catholic Church. If you go to any social studies class in America, they tell you that a lot of people came from Europe and all that to the Americas because they was running away from the Catholic Church, to the point where even the kings and queens like Henry VIII and all them tried to start their own church because they were being controlled by the Catholic Church.
But that
thing is, as far back as Henry VIII, my nigga.
It's funny as shit though, because they don't even them Rome niggas don't even really run shit. If you really run that shit, bro, it's really that melanated man is still running shit, bro. Because they still hold the secrets to this shit. So that's why you see the Pope go over there and bow down and kiss feet to that melanated man, because they still hold certain. It's like the episode of on Lovecraft Country when they needed Jonathan Major's heart to open up eternal life. They needed the melanated man heart.
Nah, it was his liver. They took a piece of the liver.
Yeah, to the key to basically, the gateway to eternal life. They had to use the melanated man's liver. So, and I remember Panic actually doing a joint on that too, a live stream. He was like, when you really look up, like he said, it's really niggas running this shit. It's really the nigga still running that shit. Like, and I ain't just saying that on some like race shit. It's just that it's certain people that still hold, certain information, like the Moors had. They had that information that they needed, or when Alexander and all them niggas went over to Egypt, the Greeks went over there and had to get the knowledge from those the motherfucking doctors and all that shit over there, what you call them motherfuckers over there? What are they calling them? The ones the Pope and them wear all that shit from. What they was calling them over there in ancient Egypt. Remember, because they took that whole attire from them.
You talking about the priesthood?
Yeah, the priesthood, right. That's who really still hold key to this shit, is that same priesthood. They didn't go anywhere. That's the people you don't even see. Like, it's crazy that you can see the Pope and you can see all these. If you can name these niggas, then they ain't the ones. If you can start naming the names, they ain't the ones, bro. They ain't the ones. If you, I mean, they ain't the ones that's running shit. If you can name these people, they ain't the ones that's running shit.
I mean, they still running the world through the Roman Empire because we still, I mean, evidence is we still going by the Roman calendar.
Roman calendar, facts. And that right there.
That's how you can tell who's running shit. Whose calendar whose time are we under? But then, whose time are we bowing to? The Roman calendar, right?
Yeah, but then you gotta realize that the Ethiopians don't go by this calendar. So who's really?
Oh yeah, I know that.
Right. So you gotta look at that fashion too, the Ethiopian side of things.
Well, they was there to preserve certain information.
Facts.
Ethiopians still
preserve
information.
Facts. They still hold the key to a lot of shit, bro. And that's what people ain't really realized, that the Ethiopians still record keep a lot of shit that, and a lot of information, and a
Key
lot of
word,
people.
because they were the original, because they the original Hebrew.
Facts.
Settled in Ethiopia.
Settled in Ethiopia.
So they the real record keepers. The fake synagogue of Satan, false record keepers are the little hat community.
Facts.
The synagogue of Satan with they fake calendars, because the calendars aren't real.
Nope.
We know that New Year's is really supposed to fall on in spring.
Right.
April 1st is really supposed to be New Year's.
Right. So I'm trying
really
to tell
28. It's really supposed to be 28 days in every month. And it's really 13 months. And that's what the Ethiopians preserve, that information.
And that's who we talking about. It's the Ethiopians. Ethiopians.
Well, they the true record keepers.
Facts.
That you get real Christianity out of Ethiopia too.
Because just think about when
Ethiopian Bible was more accurate than
exactly. Because what happened when that Ethiopian, I think it was the Book of Acts, the Ethiopian that was traveling, that Ethiopian had more
eunuch.
Yeah, he had more reign over the Hebrews, over the so-called Jews.
They preserved the information.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because everybody now, like, the Roman Empire got this false Christianity that everybody's been worshiping, these false idols, all these damn holidays and all that, like Christmas and Easter and all that. None of that shit even matter. All that stuff fall under the Roman. That's why Rome is still running this shit. We're still under the Roman Empire. That's why it's a big deal that the Pope died, because we're still under the Roman Empire. Mm-hmm. When a Pope travels, whoever they pick as the Pope, when he travels, whatever city they go to, they got the city cleaning. Oh, the Pope is coming. We got to clean this city up. You know what I mean? We got to do this and do that. Like, they prepare their cities for when the Pope is coming through. So that's who's running everything. It's coming out of Vatican, like we said. And they're using ancient Egyptian power structure to run Rome.
Yeah.
Based on how the pharaohs ran Rome, because they do it off of something called a divine right. And the pharaohs believed that they were the actual gods reincarnated.
Yeah.
And that's what these individuals believe. So that's why they believe they should have us under Roman time, Chronos time, all that shit, because it's the Greek and the Roman together.
It's the Greek and the Roman. Facts.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Greek and the Roman together, but they're using information from ancient Kemet to run things.
Right.
Yeah, the Rastafarian stuff is tied into the
it's tied into Ethiopia, right?
Yeah, it's tied into Ethiopia, and that's a true form of Christianity.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that people are so far removed, because everything became corporation, because they run Christianity and all that stuff like no different than they run the corporations.
Yeah.
That's how the Roman Empire do it. The Roman Empire always run their sponsored state religion, and they ingrain it into our subconscious minds and how we live. You know what I mean? And that controls our whole lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, it controls how they build. Yep, it controls how they build society. They social engineer everything to fit their fake calendar, their fake religions. You know what I mean? They fake political structures. All of it is fake. All of it is not authentic. Yeah, man. It's like we were born into this false world created by these individuals that's still running things, but they're losing their power because more people are educated about this.
Yeah,
that's what's happening. Like, they're losing their power. They're losing their power,
and that's meant to happen.
Yeah.
They only
Right.
supposed to reign for a certain amount of years. You know what I'm saying? Before everything returned back to its original state. That's what the Great Reset is about. Everything starts all over again. So yeah, it has to return back to its original state. You know what I'm saying? We start all over again.
See, I want people on this stream who ask those questions. Like when people say them and they, well, who's them and they? We can tell you who them and they are. You know what I mean? Or people like, oh, I know everybody keeps saying it's a distraction and all that. What are they distracting us from? We can tell you what they're distracting us from. A lot of people can say the surface level stuff, but they can't give you no more information past that. Well, we here to give niggas more information past that. So we definitely trying to see if niggas got any questions about that, because niggas want to know who's they.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Who's them? Who's they? Like we saying with that Pope Francis nigga passing away is key to the power shift that's happening as well.
Just like I believe Queen Elizabeth passed away in 2019. And then COVID was activated right away.
Yeah, right.
COVID was activated right after the Queen died, and they claim the Queen didn't die till 2023.
Yeah,
but she died 3 years prior in 2019. That's why they shut the world down. Because it's a power structure. It's a power structure. You know what I mean? The monarchs. You know what I mean? The religious world and the banking system is what's running everything. The ones who own the banking system, that's the little hat community. The ones who basically who reigns over the political system, that's the monarchs. And the ones who reign over all of it, that's the niggas that's in Rome. Those are those families,
right?
Those families that date back, you know, during the time of the Renaissance and all that in the 1700s, 16 and 1700s.
But the melanated man still the gateway to. You know what I mean?
It ain't the melanated man itself, it's just the information that comes from the melanated.
Right.
It comes from the melanated man, because the melanated man represents the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind represents the soul.
Soul, exactly. So I would say the soul man.
Exactly, the soul man.
The soul man is.
Or the Solomon.
Or the Solomon, right.
Because Solomon basically means soul man.
Yeah, the key of Solomon. If y'all look up the book, look up the key of Solomon, and right there.
And Solomon just means soul man.
Soul, exactly.
And the soul is what keeps the Akashic records, because your soul is what keeps records of everything. So like the original Hebrew, which is the melanated man, the melanated man metaphysically represents the soul.
The soul man.
The black man. It's a metaphysical thing, though.
Facts.
So it's not technically just because the black man is running things. Yeah, it's the subconscious mind that's really running everything. That's the key.
Facts.
That's the higher shit. Now we want to keep it surface. We can say, oh, it's some black priesthood. Yeah, you know I mean, that's really running everything, but that's not even the case.
That's not even the case.
It's the subconscious mind, which is the soul, is basically sleeping inside the subconscious mind, and that's what's running everything on this physical plane that we on.
Facts. So that's
the soul man. That's a soul food.
Soul music.
Soul music. Yep.
Yep.
Why they call it soul? That's a powerful thing to call it a soul.
Yeah, soul food, soul music. Facts.
And the soul is what keeps all the records. It remembers everything. Your soul is like a recorder.
That's why we were saying Ethiopia is one of the original record holders.
That's right, record keepers, right? The record keepers is coming from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, they're the record holders.
That's why they're not going by the Roman calendar.
Nope.
They still got 13 months and 28 days for each month over there.
Facts.
That's the original calendar. That's the original calendar that the whole world always went by until the Roman Empire took over and tricked our asses. And now April 1st, which is supposed to be New Year's, but now it's April Fool's Day. Because you the fool walking around thinking that it's, you know what I mean? It's not the first of the year. The first of the year is literally on April 1st.
Right.
They got us thinking it's in January. Because a new year means new beginnings, which means new growth. That's spring. Spring, there's there's flowers and all that that bloom and stuff.
Bloom.
Yeah, that's the first of the year right there. But they got us thinking that the first of the year is in cold ass January, where you can't harvest nothing.
Exactly.
That's to keep us at a deficit. See, that affects our subconscious mind. So we're always be in poverty. See, the Roman calendar keeps you in poverty physically, spiritually, and mentally.
Bond was to keep us in the bondage. Basically.
Right.
Yeah, the Roman calendar keeps us in bondage.
That's what they distracting us from.
It keeps us in bondage. So we're basically still kind of like we're basically constantly nailed to the damn cross.
Facts.
That's what's happening.
Constantly nailed to the cross.
We're constantly nailed to the cross. That's what's happening. So they think they say Jesus was born on December 23rd. Nah, but that's not accurate.
Nah, you mean 25th.
I mean 25th. I mean, yeah. That's when the winter solstice starts. December 23rd.
The winter solstice, facts.
But really the Jesus basically just represents the flesh. It was in spring, sprung up in the springtime, which is in April. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why Easter represents the resurrection.
Facts.
Every new year is supposed to be the resurrection.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like, and they got us believing that New Year's is January 1st. So when you get to April 1st, it's April Fool's Day because you the goddamn fool walking around not realizing that it's New Year.
That's the New Year. Facts. Bingo. That's where April Fool's derived from.
And that knocks off our whole rhythm. Because as a soul, we're inside of a universe and we go by a certain rhythm. So when they changed the calendar like that, it knocked our rhythm off.
Yeah. And that's what the universe basically represents, rhythm.
That's why every soul music is based on rhythm.
Uni representing one, which is the one body. Verse represents the rhythm, the heartbeat, the DNA. Yeah, they got us thrown off. Yeah, that's why I said this beast is already being destroyed. So people think it's just like one cosmic event that's supposed to happen. But that's not how it works. It gradually happens.
It's a season.
It happens
in seasons.
It breaks down. It breaks down like a flower. You know what I'm saying? Breaking down to prepare for the winter. You know what I'm saying? Prepare for the fall, I mean. So everything happens in seasons, and we constantly on the 360-degree cycle. You know what I mean? So, and that's the thing, a lot of people just don't understand that shit. They don't understand it. That's why a lot of things is out of rhythm on this planet, because basically those that came and basically conquered
illnesses too.
And put us all in bondage. You know what I'm saying?
It causes illnesses that they got us under this false calendar.
Yeah, because it
knocked our rhythm. Yep, it's disease.
Disease. Yep. Diseased. Anything that's grown out of season causes illness.
Yep. Yeah, that's why everybody walking around sick, and it definitely causes a lot of heart problems because it knocks you when your heart, you out of rhythm. All of us, we're all out of rhythm Going by this damn Roman calendar that we going under. That's why we said, who's really running things? Like we said, Rome, under the Roman calendar. They really effed us over with this. Like, we don't realize how detrimental it is because everything affects you on the subconscious level first, and that's what builds the world around you. So when things change in the world, that means things is changing in the inside of people first, and then it sprouts to the outside. So all these years we were programmed under this Roman calendar, which is a calendar based off of fake rhythm, basically, because it's throwing us off. We think that, you know, the winter months is the New Year's, when New Year's is supposed to bring new growth and new flower. Nothing grows in the wintertime. Nothing grows in the wintertime. So that right there is causing disease in everybody's life. We don't realize how deeply that affects our psychology. Like, we're deeply affected just by how they run in the world with the Roman calendar. It's insane. An expression of that is this corrupt system that we all in. We were all used and abused, and we're continuously being used and abused until we wake up and see what's happening. And these corporations are no good, y'all. All these big corporations that we follow, all this name brand stuff, all this stuff that things always were better when we made them with our own hands. When we grew our own food and made our own food from scratch, it's always healthier. It always in rhythm with our body, and the stuff that we grow is always usually in season because that's what grows in our area. But when you go to the grocery store, you're eating a bunch of stuff that's not even grown in season. It's grown synthetically. All that affect everything about us. It affect our mental health. It affect how we learn.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, everything that they're doing is happening not just on a surface level, but on a soul level first. It's like they affect you from the soul level, then to the subconscious mind, to the conscious mind, and to your 3D reality, and that's the world that's being built around us. It is built out of illness. Our marketplace, the way political things are ran, how the corporations are running everything. You know what I mean? All that stuff is out of rhythm, and we're diseased. All of us are ill right now. Every last one of us on the planet are ill right now because we're all been kicked out of rhythm, out of our natural rhythm.
Even the music keeps us out of rhythm.
Exactly.
Like certain selection of music that we bombarded with is out of rhythm.
But certain selection of music put us back into rhythm on certain ways. That's why music and stuff do be healing.
Yeah, it do.
It depends on what type of music it is, though, because they could reverse engineer the music and turn that into a weapon to keep us off rhythm too.
That's what they
or
did.
You could use the music to put us back on track to get to the right rhythm.
Facts.
It's all about your subconscious mind, y'all. That's how they programming us. That's the MK. We all under that MK Ultra program. I'm just letting y'all know. I know a lot of people with the you know, they say conspiracy theorists and they say MK Ultra project and all that. And these celebrities and politicians are under MK Ultra. Nigga, the whole population is under MK Ultra right now. Every last one of us. And some of us are starting to break the programming and realize that we were all born into MK Ultra. All of us. Because we're all running. It never seemed like we got enough time with this type of calendar that we on and this type of time system we on.
No.
We always running. We always rushing to do everything because we always feel like we out of time. That's not by accident. It's because we're off rhythm. So we always feel like we're behind. So we always running to try to catch up on time. Because we're out of rhythm as a society. Society is built on a deficit. Society is built on its citizens continuously being at a deficit, y'all. That's why it always seems like we don't never have enough time. And that creates illnesses. It creates anxiety. We have anxiety because we're still, and that's one of the big things in this world. Everybody got anxiety in this world and in this marketplace that we in. It's because we're out of rhythm.
We out of sync. Yeah, we out of sync with the universe.
We're out of sync, 100%.
We out of sync.
And
yeah, we out of
there's
sync.
some of us that's starting to sync with the universe again.
Yeah.
We're starting to awaken to this, and we're out here spreading our energy so other people can awaken to the same thing. It's bigger than Diddy and Shannon Sharpe, y'all.
Yeah.
That's low level shit. We got to start getting to the root of the problem now. And stop being distracted by this surface level stuff.
Yeah, because it's all just to throw the energy off anyway.
Exactly. Tell you the truth, I don't even really like covering that shit. I don't even really like covering that shit like that because I know what it's doing to us.
Use it. That's why
we on here talking what we talking now.
Yeah,
because we got to have some type of balance.
Facts. You take it and use it because the system that they got in place, an algorithm that they have in place is to basically encapsulate the energy and have everybody moving to how they want everybody to move, right? So if you use their system against them by using their algorithm, but you put in the real information within their agenda, their algorithm that they want everybody, because they, look how many people talking about Shannon Sharpe right now, but do you have people talking about what we talking about within that? No,
not really.
So we found a way to use the algorithm to put real information in there, because they're going to push the Shannon Sharpe shit. You know what I mean?
Right. We here to inspire the people who's on that path of knowing something is off about the world.
Yeah, because
the Neos of the world.
Mm-hmm.
All the Neos of the world. You know what I'm saying? You remember when he went to Neo and said, you always knew Neo, something was off about the world. This is for the niggas that know it was always something off about this world. Like, we just not going to sit here and accept this world for what it is, like most people do. Like, all right, it's something off about all this. Well, we here to let y'all niggas know what's off about it. They knocked us out of rhythm. They got us on this fake calendar. We're all enslaved right now. As we speak, all of us are enslaved right now. And we're under this whole global MK Ultra programming by these big conglomerate corporations and banks and political and religious leaders. All of it is one big system. That's who's running everything. You know what I mean? The religious, political, banking, and corporate entities. It's really one network that's running everything, and they've been doing it for centuries now.
Yeah, they're running the
MK Ultra program.
They're running the synthetic man-made system. They're not running the spiritual system.
Facts.
We continue to run the spiritual system. Our soul, the soul man does. The soul does continues to run, and that's free. There's no hierarchy over the spiritual system. We all are on the same playing field when it comes to the soul. There's no hierarchy over the soul, and that's only when you come down to this level that you have a synthetic system set up where you have hierarchies and low level. You know what I mean? That's not the case with the spiritual realm. So we're basically playing the game of, the synthetic system that's set up. We're playing into that game. But when you wake up to that shit, the game over. Right? When you wake up, the game over, isn't it? Because now you start operating from the spiritual realm. That's the whole point of being in the world but not being of it. Like, you still gonna be, you know what I mean? Yeah, because we born into this system, so it's certain things that we still gonna live by. You know what I mean? In the physical realm, but your soul doesn't have to live by that.
We gotta break free of this manipulation of our souls in the subconscious minds. They got us believing that we're supposed to be in a deficit. They got us believe, because to tell you the truth, none of us are supposed to be sickly. We invited that into our subconscious mind. You know what I'm saying? We invited that there. And the only reason why we invited that there because we was manipulated. You know how they be like, what they say, we didn't even know what disease was until the white man came.
That's what they used to say, right?
That's what they used to say. Now let's really think about that. And we ain't talking about the white man as far as like what y'all thinking. We talking about the conquistadors. The ones that came in and conquered black lands. Now, black lands really represents the subconscious mind. The invaders are the outsiders that came in to invade and to conquer that black mind or those black lands. Black lands, melanated people represent the soul people, represent the dark side of the subconscious mind. That's where they convinced us that we were sick. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what this all boils down to. All this is sickness. Us sitting there got a report on Diddy and all that, Shannon Sharpe, all this bullshit that's going on with them, the Bill Cosby, the R. Kelly. That's sicknesses. Those are illnesses that we were convinced of in our subconscious mind. Now it's all around us. We built society around these illnesses. A lot of these illnesses that we got today, all these different illnesses were unheard of at a certain amount of time on the planet. All right, so that's what we being distracted from. We being distracted by the fact that we're mind controlled and we're being injected with all these illnesses, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually being injected with illnesses. And then as a result of that, the expression of that is physical illness. That's what's happening. Because as soon as people start to become conscious of all this stuff, what do they say they do? They go on a healing journey. Everybody's on a healing journey who wakes up from this BS system. When you realize this system is BS, you realize how much you was taken advantage of, how much you were manipulated, how much control they really have over you, and how that's making you sick, and how it's making you ill. Mentally, physically, and spiritually, how that's making you ill. Now you're on your healing journey. You realize you look at nothing the same way. You don't look at religion the same. You don't look at politics the same. You don't even look at diet and food the same. You don't look at none of that as the same. You realize all of it was put there in front of you to control you. They put the food in front of you with the poisons in it to control your health. Yeah, I mean, they put the fake religious and all that stuff and the pagan holidays and all. They put all that stuff in front of us to control our spiritual health. Yeah, I mean, they put the politics and the social norms and all that stuff, all this social engineering to affect us mentally, our mental health. Fake shit you gotta live up to be a member of society causes anxiety and social disorder and mental disorders. Society always gonna be in that breaking point where it look like we're being broken down and all, because we're constantly in a deficit because we're enslaved. And the thing is, when people think about slavery, first thing niggas think about is Kunta Kinte. But niggas forget about spiritual slavery and mental slavery. Not just that's worse than the physical slavery. The physical slavery is just a result of the mental and spiritual slavery.
Well, they conquered the subconscious.
Right. When they conquered the subconscious mind.
I mean,
it's metaphysically, that's what happened when they conquered the melanated or the aboriginal places. Metaphysically, that means they conquered the subconscious mind. Like I said, Kemet was known as, ancient Egypt was known as Kemet. You look up what Kemet means, it means the land of the black, or the black lands. And then if you go deeper and you go into Kemet, you know, the science and the meanings behind their religion, you'll realize that black lands or melanated just means the dark part of the mind, which is the subconscious mind, because they realize everything happens. All our reality is created through our subconscious mind, on a subconscious level first.
That's what the whole Willie Lynch letters was about. Breaking the subconscious mind.
Right. And Willie Lynch letters is a advanced form of MK Ultra.
Yeah, that was just to break down.
The MK Ultra program is literally the Willie Lynch letters.
That was just to break down the subconscious mind.
Yep, breaking the black man down in the Willie Lynch letters is really talking about breaking down the subconscious mind. It's not just talking about because if you think about it, even white people, so it's not talking about surface level black and white people. That's another whole ritual. Is when they talk about the black people that they breaking down in the Willie Lynch letters and the whole thing, it's talking about your subconscious mind first. That's how they ingrain the programming into your subconscious mind, and then they can come after you physically. And that's where the power. Because if you look deeply into the MK Ultra thing, and you look up all the reports and stuff that came out, what those scientists were trying to do was break down the subconscious mind to shatter. Their whole thing was to shatter the subconscious mind and control each piece of shattered. They look at it like a shattered glass or a shattered mirror. And then each little piece they want to control and be able to pull to the forefront whenever they feel like it, and control you through that. And they did that through the whole, on a whole global level. They just didn't do it to celebrities, or just didn't do it to politicians or test subjects. The test subjects was everybody on Earth.
Almost everybody on Earth. And you still have some. You know, people that still live by certain, like you go into those deep parts of the Congo and shit like that, you still have some people, some villagers that still live by that ancient way. So, and those be the ones that retain the most of the information, because they passed it down. They passed it down throughout generation, and they always was able to maintain it and upkeep that information, because they knew that was the way, you know, to keep themselves balanced and keep themselves in rhythm.
Right.
But the majority of the population lost rhythm because we was taken out. We was scattered and moved around, you know, on different parts, you know, all four corners of the earth. We were scattered. So a lot of us is not even in the habitat that we supposed to be in anyway.
Now you heard what you just said. We were scattered all over. Now the MK Ultra program, what they want to do is shatter the subconscious mind. Right. That's what the MK Ultra program is. I know a lot of people are MK Ultra. They love to talk about it, but they didn't read the shit. They don't know exactly what it does and how it's operated and how they use it on us. What the first thing they do is shatter your subconscious mind and scatter it all over the place. But they know where everything is at, and they could pull to the forefront any of those shattered parts of your mind and use that to control you with. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did when they invaded melanated areas. First thing they do, they come and they divide, they kill the ones they don't need, and then they divide the other ones and scatter them all over the place, to the point where, and then they make sure they raise them up Like the generations are raising them up to make them forget who they really are. So they have an identity crisis at the same time. And at the center of MK Ultra is scattered and then identity crisis. Identity crisis is at the center of MK Ultra programming. Because you don't even know what your real identity is because you scattered your subconscious mind was scattered all over the place. Because it's about shattering the mind, shattering the subconscious mind. And they did that to every last one of us. They did it to every last one of us. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. That's what I was saying. It basically divided, basically broke down the body and divided it. Took the one body and basically broke it down. It's basically shattered. That's why we have, like, just think about, like, that even plays out on the physical level, because if you think about how the world was once, the landmass was once one landmass, and then it broke up into 7 continents. Now that number 7. Now think about the number 7. Seven around 7 times around the wall of Jericho. Until it broke, into the walls fell down, right?
7 days of the week.
7 days of the week.
7 chakras.
7 facts. So basically, that's what that represents. That 7. Basically, the world was one landmass and broke up into 7 pieces.
So our mindsets are divided just like the landmass.
7 chakras, 7 landmass, right?
We don't realize how unified we are in the universe.
It's fact.
We don't realize we're all one body because we're fragmented.
Exactly.
It's scattered all over the place. That was the Willie Lynch right there. And what did they do when they what they do? They tied the biggest and baddest slave up to 4 different horses, all going 4 different directions, and they pulled them apart in front of all the other slaves. That was one of the key points of the Willie Lynch letters of how to control your slave. That's what the Willie Lynch letters are, how to control your slave, but really it should be called how to control the subconscious mind. Yeah, we figured y'all out, programmers. If there's any programmers, you know, agents like to scope niggas out. We figured them out. We figured them niggas out. You know what I'm saying? We know how you operate. And if you think about it, society is set up to make us all divided. That's how they're able to keep control, is by keeping us all divided. We're divided by everything. We don't realize we're in one body. So we all divided, scattered all over the place, and not unified at all. So we out of rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And we're at a disease. We're at a disadvantage. We're diseased right now. All of us.
Diseased.
Yep. All of us. Yeah, we completely out of alignment.
Yep.
And it, like we told y'all earlier, this Roman calendar is one of the main culprits. And it's not about white or black people neither. That's another ritual that they did. That's another ritual. Because the outside vessel don't mean anything. The outside vessel was no different than a house coat. You know what I'm saying? The outside vessel is the energy that's within the vessel. That's what they want. And the outside vessel can be any type of skin color. You know what I'm saying? Outside vessel is just the outside vessel. It's packaging. It's the energy inside that they want to control. It don't matter what the outside packaging is. And another thing is you could put different energies in different type of vessels. You know, it don't even have to. Something could be labeled apple juice. The bottle on the outside could be labeled apple juice, but it could be orange juice in there. Somebody could have replaced that with orange juice easily.
Yeah,
see, all of us aren't cattle, and we're well aware of what's going on. I mean, some people do walk around here like cattle or empty vessels. There are a lot of people who walk around like that.
But that's only for a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like eventually you're gonna wake up. I mean, nobody stays asleep forever. You know what I mean? So eventually you set yourself on a timer to wake up at a specific time. Because we all got that spiritual alarm clock where we wake ourselves up. No one stays asleep forever unless you choose to stay asleep forever. That's actually a choice. You could choose to sleep forever, but you can also choose to wake yourself up at a certain time.
Or somebody can have you medicated.
Or you can
think about that.
Meditate, yeah, or they can basically
somebody can have you medicated.
Yeah, hypnotize you to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Put you to sleep.
Exactly. And a lot of that's been happening too on a spiritual level. Yeah, on a spiritual level, you could just be sleeping, waiting for your time to wake up to see things. Or there could be some people who are awake who's keeping you asleep. Think about that. That could be a big possibility. All of it is true. You gotta be aware of that too. Because the type of wickedness and the type of mindset that it takes to create a system like this, you have to be awake to do it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Exactly. So there's some people out here who, who are just like, humans. You got some people who ain't on the up and up. And they're thieves.
Being consciously aware.
Yeah, they're thieves. That's the wicked. The wicked exists, man. We can't deny that the wicked don't exist.
That's the
trespassers. And the wicked are the ones who are conscious but are using it in a wicked way.
Yeah, but that's the trespasser though. That's the trespasser.
Right.
Because if you didn't give them your consent, that's trespassing.
Exactly. And they taking advantage of you while you sleeping. Exactly.
You ain't give them your consent to do it, so that it's trespassing. Which means
that happens on a spiritual level too. And they out here, and the people who's awake who are not like that, we see the ones who are like that. We know them by their actions, because certain actions. If you're conscious just like someone else is conscious, then you can easily see each other's actions and where y'all going with things. You know what I'm saying? So we being conscious, you can see the other conscious people that's taking advantage of the people who are not conscious.
That'd be a lot of them damn preachers and
exactly
people that be in them pulpits.
Exactly. Like, we can see you.
Nigga, don't you know I can see you?
Right.
Like what Cat Williams said when he was sniffing the coke.
Right, we can see exactly what
nigga, don't you know I can see you?
And the thing is, the unconscious people would take their side not knowing that they're being used.
Yeah, that's like Morpheus told Neo in the Matrix when he said most of these people are what he say when they was walking through the city and they was just bumping into people, and she said a lot of these people ain't ready to be woke up yet. They all they all part of it. They all could be agents at any time.
Anytime, facts. Facts.
See, the agents can't move in and out of the conscious person that's not consciously aware. Y'all notice that if you go back and watch the Matrix wasn't able to travel in and out of Neo or any of those people that was woke. The agents wasn't able to basically enter into them. Just think about the movie, like any of the people that was from Zion, they wasn't able to hack their system. But everybody that was part of the Matrix, they could turn to the agent anytime.
Anytime.
You know what I mean?
And that's a mindset. Like if you translate that over to our world, it's a mindset because people around you, like close family members who might not be conscious like you, or friends and family, they could be manipulated by the system anytime.
Facts.
All you need to do, like when the COVID stuff happened, like, you know what I mean? You had people who, you know what I mean, would change up on you. Oh, no, if you don't wear no mask, you're not coming in my house. If you don't get the vaccine, you're not coming in my house. If you ain't voting for this certain political party, we're not family anymore.
Yeah, that's the Matrix.
That's the Matrix right there.
Right.
That's the agent. That's them becoming the agent at any time.
Facts.
Like you were just cool with them. You know what I mean? You was cool with your friend or your family member the other day, but as soon as they find out you don't vote for somebody that they vote for, or you know what I mean, you don't believe the same medical advice that they believe in, you know what I'm saying?
Or the same religion.
Or the same religion thing.
They become the agent. Yeah.
Yep. They become the agent. Yep. And they attack you.
Yeah. That's what the agent was doing. Remember, they was
remember
when Neo was running through the subway, the agent just kept turning to all these different people and trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with the Terminator.
Yeah.
Liquid metal dude kept
liquid metal dude. Facts.
Yeah, he was able to turn into any person
anybody
at any time, right?
And attack you. Yep.
That's crazy. Shout out to Sophia Stewart, man, because she wrote those Jones. Yeah, I mean Sophia Stewart wrote,
and they stole that from another conscious woman.
Right.
They conscious too. They just wicked with their conscious.
They just wicked with their conscious, exactly. But shout out to Sophia Stewart. She's the originator of the Matrix and the Terminator.
Yeah, a lot of these people that's running, a lot of these corrupt people that's running the system, they conscious.
Hell yeah.
They fully conscious.
I mean, just how they was able to just think about how Hollywood create certain scripts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell they tapping into certain aspects. You know what I mean? So they able to create these shows and these movies surrounded around the knowledge.
Conscious and wicked at the same time.
Yeah, that's crazy though. How they stole Sophia Stewart's shit though. I mean,
of course they gonna steal it.
But if the thing about it is, being as though they took that material from her and broadcast it on on a universal scale using their system, it was able to still wake a lot of people up.
Facts.
So that's the flip side of it. That's the duality of it, that they stole all her all her works, but they used it on a universal scale where it still was able to wake people up.
And it might not have gotten as big as it did if they didn't steal it.
If they didn't steal it. So
it was a blessing in disguise.
Facts. That's the flip side of it. And I don't even know if she ever addressed it that way. Like,
that's how the spirit used That's how the spirit used the wicked for good.
Right. So I know she's conscious. She's a very conscious person, but I don't know if she understood it on that level. I never heard it truly talk about it. She probably mentioned it, but that's the flip
Or she
side
probably
of
knew it, but just didn't
shit.
mention it. It's a
Yes, and
possibility.
then,
Who
right.
knows?
But that's the one thing. That's the flip side of it. That even being as though that they stole her works, it still benefited. I mean, humanity at the end of the day, where it was able to wake a lot of people up. Because during that time, it was like that shit came out, then the 9/11 shit happened, and then it was like a chain of events that basically
Brought us into this new world of
brought us
technology.
brought us into this new technological age, which actually people was able to become conscious aware of what was going on based off the technology. So that's another flip side of the internet as well. Like everything has a double edge to it. So being as though they wanted to use the internet to consolidate the world and put everybody on the web, the World Wide Web, to control it, the flip side of that, it was people actually using the information to become conscious aware of what's going on.
Facts.
So it's always a two side. Even though we be looking at things for what it is, like we look at things with the one eye, with the two eyes, and be like, all right, well, that's evil. That's evil. This is good. That's evil. This is good. But everything still has that double edge to it. Even though it looks evil to our physical eyes, on a spiritual level,
it's still something good about it.
Yeah, it's still something good that's happening out of it, because it's there. Everything is for us and not against us. To be honest. So that's the flip side of everything, and that's how we supposed to look. That's how we supposed to look at everything. Like, damn, this is some effed up shit that's happening, but it's happening for a reason to
some
benefit.
Good coming out of it. Facts.
So
that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's why things are like that.
Right. You gotta remember, it's the universe is a balance.
Balancing itself out.
Yeah, don't forget, that's the one thing we can't lose sight of, that it's always the two sides to everything.
Facts.
So people might be looking at this new technological age as something bad, but it's always something good on the flip side of it too. Because like you said, you can use fire to cook, or you can use fire to burn something down. You can use water to replenish yourself, or you can use water to drown a person. So it's always two sides of this shit, bro.
That's true.
You know what I mean? When you got
because it'd be a drought. Yeah, because it'd be a drought, and niggas would be wishing for water to come.
Right.
But then, if a hurricane happens, niggas would be wishing that there wasn't no water around.
Right.
For them niggas to get, washed away. Yeah, it's the same deal. Yup. Yeah, yup. It's the same. Yup. Two sides to everything, man. It's the intentions. That's why I said there are conscious people out there who's using wickedness, but even out of their wickedness, good comes out of it.
Facts. That's what you gotta have. You gotta have that mindset to understand. You know what I mean?
No matter how crazy it looked to the human eyes on the surface, there's still some unforeseen thing that's actually good, that's actually might benefit everybody.
Facts.
Like you said, Sophia Stewart. You know what I mean? Like if Universal ain't never steal her project, the Matrix would have that information would have never got out as big as it did.
Nope.
You think she would have been a best-selling author if it didn't get stole? Yeah.
Nope.
Stole by Universal Studios?
Nope.
That means that information that the Matrix was telling the world would have never got out as much as it did.
Exactly.
So out of that wicked act, the information still got out there.
Facts. The wicked act of them trying to use the internet,
stealing her
to control humanity by using the internet. Look how much good came out of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look how many people was able to wake themselves up based off the information, all the information around the world being put online like that. And that's what I'm saying with this Web3 that's coming about. Yeah, it looks like it's going to benefit them in a controlled way, But on the flip side of that, it's going to actually uplift a lot of other people too as well.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
That's why I said we're not completely against technological growth. We're not against it. It's just about the intentions behind it. But now, after what we just said, now it don't even matter what the intention. It's going to work out the way that it's supposed to work out for balance.
Fact. That's we got to understand that it's always going to balance itself out. That's why we said there's never going to be one-sided ever. As much arrogance of people that control certain aspects, it's the arrogance is what's going to destroy them, because they so arrogant that they don't realize there's always two sides to the spectrum.
Always two sides.
It's always a balance. Yeah, it's always a balance. So we going, if you look, people look at like us going into this technological hyperdrive of artificial intelligence as we're going to be controlled, but that's not what we like. You got to realize that it's still two spectrums of that. So the flip side of that is it's going to uplift a lot of people as well. It's going to wake a lot of people up. Being as though that we're going into hyperdrive is actually going to accelerate the conscious anyway. It's going to accelerate consciousness.
And they don't realize the more they push for slavery, the more people wake up.
More people gonna wake up.
Slavery.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, all right, well, we going into hyperdrive with Web3. That means the acceleration of consciousness is going to speed up as well.
Right.
So people are going to be waking up at a faster rate, which means we're going to get back to the original state. So we have to go through all these rituals of artificial intelligence or automated systems, and because that's going to get us back to where we need to be anyway. It's going to wake people up. And that's the flip side of it. Being as though that we going into this hyperdrive with Web3 and the blockchain and all that, it's also going to accelerate consciousness as well. That just has to go along with it. Same way that we was able to accelerate when everything was put on the internet. People was able to wake up at a faster rate when, when the .com came around and all the information was starting to get put online, that woke people up at a faster rate. Now we're going into a hyper system, which is going to make consciousness speed up even more faster. So now that's going to just lead us to getting back to our original state even faster. So let's work. Let's get it. Let's go. Web3, blockchain, let's get it. Because that's the flip side of it. It's going to accelerate consciousness even faster. Let's get it.
And that's just what it is. Man, smash that like button if y'all haven't already. Man, share this video. Man, and this has been sponsored by nightandayherbals.com. You know what I mean? If y'all know anything about our shop, we sell all natural herbs. You know what I mean? We got sea moss on there. We got natural soaps and body oils. We got natural CBD on there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what keeps this operation going. By y'all supporting us and we giving y'all quality products. We ship pretty fast. That's nightandayherbals.com. Right now we got the 15% off when you join the email list. We got 25% off on the sea moss products. Whether it's the fruit infused sea moss gel or the herbal teas, sea moss teas. We got really good detoxes, the zeolite Zea detox. That detox your body at the cellular level. You know what I mean? When you looking at you scared that you might got, heavy metals or something like that in your body and all that. You got inflammation. It helps clear out inflammation. It helps clear out, all that bloat. Like it helps with your stomach. If your stomach is bloated and irritable bowel syndrome, it helps with that. You know what I mean? And then we got the melanin splash drink. You know what I'm saying? That's a herbal drink. You know what I mean? And that cleans out your body. You know what I mean? If you got all this, backed up stuff in your colon and all that, it flushes everything out. So make sure y'all head over to Night and Day Herbals, man. Get your herbals supplements, get your herbal CBD, your soaps, your body oils, your shampoos and conditioners. All natural products.
Facts. Come check us out. Got the natural herbal
All our
cigarette.
CBD is grown organically. We don't use synthetic pesticides and none of that. So it ain't that headache stuff. It's actually very therapeutic. You know what I mean? It helps you if you got inflammation or pain in your body, or you need to relax. You know what I mean? You got anxiety. It's good for people who got who can't sleep at night. You got insomnia problems. It's good for all of that. You know what I'm saying? nightandayherbals.com, y'all.
And on that note, I'll get up out of here.
Oh yeah, the link is pinned to the top. So, and it's going to be in the description of this video for those of y'all who watching later.
Yep.
Shout out to y'all, man. And those of y'all who've been ordering from us, we already got y'all orders packaged up. Everything's ready to be shipped out. A lot of y'all orders we shipped out before the holidays, so y'all should be getting them if y'all haven't already.
Facts.
We've been shipping out a lot of orders, y'all. Thanks for y'all support. You know what I mean? We 5 stars on Google. We know our quality of our products is probably the best you're going to find for what it is, especially for the prices. So, yeah, man, we appreciate y'all. Smash that like button, share this video, and we out.
You're out of here, y'all.
If you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.